Hi, my name is Paul Spade, and I'm doing my first tutorial on behalf of Turtle Dreams School of Didgeridoo, which I own, and it's in Groton, New York. So this is a didgeridoo right here. Now this is a real one. It comes from Australia, and if you could look right in here, you would see all these little pock marks where termites have eaten their way right out through the length of this whole stick. And the big trick to playing a didgeridoo is when you breathe in a circle, in through your nose and out your mouth at the same time. Looks like this. In through your nose and out your mouth at the same time. And didgeridoos can sound pretty wild. So I'm going to do a little demo, and then I'm going to give you a couple didgeridoo tips. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to tell you about the didgeridoo is that you don't have to have an authentic one from Australia to really get a good sound. And so my first tip is, if you really want to learn how to play the didgeridoo, you got to get yourself one. But you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. And one of the things that you can do is that you can get yourself one of these PVC ones like this, and you can get them from hardware stores. And really, the thing to get is like 1-inch PVC. And so here's what like 1-inch PVC looks like. 1 inch with a little beeswax on it, and then you can decorate it. This one has some looks like some Scooby-Doo and Mystery Machine stickers on it. Can't go wrong with that. All right, so PVC, 1 inch. You don't need a big one because it's just a little bit harder to play when you're beginning. You want a nice small mouthpiece, and when you play, you go like this. And you flap your lips. You got to get your lips flapping to make the sound. It's crucial. It's imperative. Some people play in the center, and some people play over here on the side. And I'm a side player. And so when you blow into your didgeridoo, you go. Alright, so you can make all sorts of groovy sounds with just a PVC didgeridoo. You can make awesome sounds. But the first thing that you really got to get down is making the bass sound, and that's that. And so you got to practice that. That's tip number 2, the bass sound. Now, it took me 3 days. 3 days of really hard practicing, to really get that consistently. And I sounded like like a hurting or dying elephant for a while. But you get better. You got to practice. So you take a nice deep breath. That's what you can do with your PVC, and you practice that. And if you practice like 10 times in a row, taking the biggest breath you can and making this sound as long as you can, hold that note for your whole breath, for those like 10 breaths, you get your lungs stronger, and then you can get ready for like the next stage of playing your didgeridoo, and that's adding tones. All right. So when you want to add tones, you got to practice that too. And you know what I tell people? I say, say your vowels. E-I-O-U. All right, now you do it through the didge. Pretty good for just vowels. It sounds pretty groovy. And that gives you the bass, something that you can work on. And if you don't get that sound right away, really don't give up. You gotta have fun. Okay? And that's the one that I'm gonna end with right now for your beginner class. Is you gotta end with fun. So if you don't get the sound, or you get the sound and then you don't get the sound, you lose it, you gotta relax. You gotta get into it. You know, lots of people, they go like this, and they spit all over and they say, I can't do it. It's like, well, you tried for like less than a minute. You can't say you can't do it. You gotta try. All right? So you gotta try. And you can have fun with this. If you can't get the sound, then try just making some fun noises. Okay? And I live outside of Ithaca, New York, and so one of the things that I get kids to do or people to do is try making a bird sound out of the town that you live. And so we say, all right? You practice that. Come back for lesson 2. Coming up next.